Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Casey.
And I'm Anthony.
And we are Dos Cavazos, and we are watching episode 7 of Better Call Saul.
Yes.
Season 4.
Yeah, so where we left off last, Jimmy pretty much found those kids that mugged him. Pretty much, I don't understand why he thinks that they might have, like, the say of the neighborhood to, like, tell him to leave other people to leave him alone, too.
I mean, maybe he's, like, starting at the bottom.
Yeah, I guess.
Then he's here.
We got to see Huel. So that was funny. But, yeah, we got to see him. Mike was helping Gustavo orchestrate like some recreational stuff for all the scientists and stuff, or the diggers, the people that are going to be helping build the lab.
Yeah.
So they were taking care of that. Seems like there's going to be a guy who's a problem. Kai. Yeah, he's a dick. Like you could tell he's going to be like out to stir up some shit. He's probably going to be the one who tries to escape. If I had to guess anything.
It's really interesting to me to see how the beginning stages of the lab, because I've always wondered, how did they get that down there, under all that stuff? So it's cool that we're getting to see the backstory of that, and how it was created, and like how he put the laundromat on top of it.
I think it's also cool to see like the relationship and the trust be established with Mike. That like obviously we saw him in Breaking Bad where he was kind of like his guy, and like this is the process of how he became his guy with all the knowledge and all the respect that he slowly. I wouldn't even say slow. He actually gained it pretty quick with him, but I think Gustavo's a pretty quick to judge, but not in a bad way. He's usually correct with his assessments.
He's a good judge of character.
I mean, he trusted Walt for a long time until all the stuff happened with Jesse. So Kim is pretty much going to be doing her own thing now. She's going to be joining the law firm that she was kind of with earlier, but she's going to be a partner now. So that's really, really cool.
She kind of like had a perfect situation, honestly. Not for her relationship, but career-wise.
Yeah, I'm nervous that this is just another domino in the collapse of their relationship between Jimmy and Kim. It just seems like it's heading that way ever since Chuck's untimely demise. It seems like everyone's just kind of doing their own thing and kind of coping their own way. Like she's, I want to say, getting a little bit more joy and satisfaction out of helping people, not necessarily the bank. Yeah. And that's why she's doing a lot of this public defender work. And that's also what gives her the flexibility to be able to do this, is that she actually has associates that can help her with the banking aspect of it all. And she's starting, the banking aspect for that branch, for that law firm, while she also gets to take on other clients and do other things that she's passionate about. Jimmy is turning to crime, but that's not something that's unheard of for Jimmy before, slipping Jimmy.
He's going back to what he was pre-Chuck. Yeah. So
you could tell in the last episode too, he was kind of like taken back when Kim told him about joining that firm. I felt bad because, he was doodling in his little binder, like different types of designs and logos and stuff like that. But it's just, I said in the our last reaction as well too, like the same reason that she needs to respect the fact that he doesn't want to see a psychiatrist is the same reason why he should respect her and what she wants to do. I don't think that it's going to turn out this way, but there's no reason that they can't both have successful careers and still be together and be happy, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be heading that direction. Yeah. So
I feel, my predictions, I don't know if I'm going to be right, but I think that Jimmy's going to do something, get caught. Kim's going to have to, be his lawyer or something, get him out of it, and I think that's going to, be the final straw, maybe.
Yeah. Depends on, the severity.
I wonder I feel like he's going to do something. I don't know, because there just has to be a break in their relationship. Something has to happen. She either needs to move away, they need to drift apart, break up, because she wasn't in Breaking Bad, and it wouldn't make sense for her just to have been, there but not shown at all, ever. You know, there has to be a clean break somehow. Not necessarily clean, but some sort of, explanation.
Yeah, I feel like that way too. I don't feel like they'll, I mean, I don't know, they might, but, you could in theory, because the story about Breaking Bad wasn't about Saul. He was a supporting character in that particular story arc, and I could at least see how they could tie it in and be like, oh, maybe he did have some communication with Kim throughout that time, and maybe they'll show clips of that, times that that we saw Saul, during Walt's tenure, and cool. Say oh, I was reaching out to Kim about this, but I don't think that it's going to be
believable if it was they had their same relationship.
No, absolutely
that wouldn't I mean, they could do it. Yeah. They could do whatever they want.
The relationship definitely has to break, but it's not out of the realm of possibility
that they still talk.
Yeah, or that she's still alive. Hopefully, she's still alive.
I don't think that they're gonna kill. I mean, I don't know if it's. Breaking Bad
It's
was
not that kind of
different
show.
in the sense that a lot of, that could have
Yeah.
happened in, like, Breaking Bad, but someone mentioned in the comics.
The comics, yes.
I so used the comics.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned in the comments that Breaking Bad was more of like a Western kind of vibe, which I get, and then this is more of like a noir. I totally get that. That makes sense.
I love, honestly, the scenes that I'm loving the most right now are the interactions with Mike and Gustavo, because it does remind me of Breaking Bad. I love when we do see Jimmy, but I like it when he's like showing more sides of Saul now. Like, I feel like we've seen a lot of Jimmy up to this point and a lot of different things that encompass who he is, but I want to see that transition. And I feel like this season especially, we're getting a lot of it. I feel like the phone aspect, just kind of going in there, getting crimes to get stealing like these little figurines. I know he's had Mike do various jobs for him, but I feel like it's becoming a little bit more repeated now. Whereas like it was more sporadic in the first 3 seasons, and I'm very excited to see when he does make that full transition over to Saul. And I don't think it's gonna happen until like the probation's up, unless he does something sort of crazy where he changes his name and then somehow figures out a way to practice law.
I don't think he's like gonna. He's smart enough not to risk that. Like, it's only a year, which is not that long in the grand scheme of things.
Well, it's 10 months now.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really not that long in actuality for him to legally become lawyer again, Yeah. Every time that Gustavo and Mike are on the screen, it feels like you're watching Breaking Bad again. Does. And then every time Saul's life is on the screen, it just feels like a completely different show. You're still in the world of it, but it's just like so interesting how that they did that. And they did such a good job of kind of showing you like the dynamics between the two, because Breaking Bad just had such a different feel. Even though Jimmy or Saul he was still a character originally from it. It's just like, this just feels like a just completely different vibe story, and it's actually really enjoyable. And then when they come together, it's like blends, and it's just so exciting.
It's done very, very well. I will say, even though they do feel like two different stories, you can still see the parallels between, like, where one person starts to how they end. Walt becoming Heisenberg.
Which
same concept of Jimmy becoming Saul.
Felt like how this feels, like when he was still a teacher, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right in the process of making those moves. All right, guys. Well, let's check out the next episode and see if we get any more answers. They just seem like they're just not really communicating. Is that what they're trying to?
I think they're just trying to show like multiple days, same thing, different day. They
don't seem happy anymore.
Don't talk. Because they used to like joke around, and I get that relationships do that, but you should at least have some sort of fun communication still.
Yeah. Oh, she's getting her cast cut off. Time has passed.
Stick a few potted plants around, make the place nice. What do you think?
I knew it wasn't Kim.
Yeah.
So no more cell phones?
If you were a lawyer, this would be a great place, right?
If I was a lawyer, big glass high rise, 40th floor.
Hector.
Ese es verde?
Yeah. Time has definitely passed.
Oh, okay, let's just hold off on lunch for a few minutes. Just set the tray on the side. Of course, volveremos a trabajar en...
He wants to eat.
He wants his food.
Sorry, I'll take care of that. Está bien, Héctor. Solo un espasmo muscular, okay?
He did it on purpose.
Oh,
he wanted to check her out?
You freaking pervert. That's funny, though. I thought he was just hungry.
I did too.
Well, I mean, if you're up for adventure, you know where the great skiing is. Well, just tell you, right?
It's kind of a long drive, isn't it?
Rent one of those fancy party buses.
It's worth considering.
And park us. You know what?
Kim
Aspen.
didn't like it.
Hey, that's where you want to go.
She looks
Aspen
annoyed.
is like Telluride
They
on
look annoyed.
steroids. You got
Jimmy, Aspen is like a 9-hour bus ride.
I'm a private charter jet. I'm sorry.
Is he trying to get him to spend money and get everyone to hear?
Like, to get everyone excited about it or something?
Yeah, about the money that you have to spend. How do you say no to all your employees after you had that conversation?
Is this Candy Mount Round
Yeah.
Rock Can what is
Rock
it?
Candy
Round
Mountain.
Rock Candy Mountain.
Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Ooh.
It's funny to think about like where they're starting, and then all of a sudden like Jesse and Walt are just gonna burn this thing down in a few years.
Since that's his mode of communication,
He knew.
Has he done that before?
The cup. That was likely an involuntary movement.
He's gonna see her.
Doesn't look involuntary to me.
He went like, bam.
Well, he's the same person, all right.
He's happy.
He's like, good, I can torment him.
Do you think that was purposeful?
Look at Gustavo's like reveling
You've
in
done
it.
magnificent work.
Oh, thank you. Hector's progress is very promising. With sustained, intensive care, he may eventually learn how to talk and even walk again.
No way.
Yeah, of course he would do that.
We should temper our expectations.
It makes sense, though.
He kept him from recovering fully.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I mean, I get it, but he was the reason.
But he wouldn't even had that care if it wasn't for him in
That's
the first
true.
place.
He might not
so.
have even gotten to the point he was at, but he could have gotten better.
Yeah.
He didn't want him to. He wanted to keep him like that.
But we must clear that rock to make way for the elevator shaft.
How big a pop are we talking about?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
It's Kai. It's gotta be.
Oh crap.
Oh, verdammt.
That can't be good.
Was machst du im Blassenschauer? Wie lange es dauert, das zu reparieren? Vielleicht lebst du ja gerne in diesem Loch, aber wir wollen gerne nach Haus.
Hey, Arschloch.
Now he's gonna
Du
cause
bist hier
trouble.
nie der große Macker.
Sag mal, hast du sie doch alle?
Mein Gott, Kai! Fertig! Mal die Klappe!
Jungs, kommt runter!
We love Mike.
What can I do you for?
This you? Saul Goodman?
That's right, officer.
For drug dealer who got sprung today because he was using a drop phone that you sold him. Doesn't bother you that you're peddling to a bunch of lowlifes who use these things to sell drugs?
What my customers do with the phones after they leave my possession, that's their business.
Get your van out of here, park it in front of a grocery store in Corrales, someplace nice, and sell there. I'm sure there's a lot of soccer moms that can use some phones.
My customer base is right here. It's gonna be littering or rolling through a stop sign. Hey, how about you plant something in my glove compartment?
You know what, pal? Just take it easy.
And maybe this
okay?
is why people need privacy. Maybe this is why they need my phones. Maybe you're the problem.
Okay, so as long as you make a buck, the whole world can just go in the crap.
Yeah.
Oh shit, is he gonna think that it's not a cop and it's like a bad...
Oh shit.
Oh,
He's gonna assault him. Because he can't hear.
Yeah.
Oh shit. No.
He's a cop.
Oh, you just assaulted him.
Dumbass.
Damn it. Now he's gonna have to go get Huel out.
You were in plain clothes. He had no idea you were a police officer.
Oh, he knew all right. I picked him up 3 years ago. Pickpocketing.
Oh, pickpocketing, remember?
I wonder if he's gonna ask Kim for help and she's gonna find out he was selling phones.
It just looks so sad.
Kai is my best demolition man. Sure, he's a close model, but he's a good boy. They all are. Maybe that's the problem. They're boys.
They thought they were going to be here for 8 months, and they can see we are not even halfway done.
They need fresh air, change of scenery, and rest and relaxation. 2.5 years.
Yeah, they always go for the max. Come on now, they'll come down.
He's in a suit.
I'm about.
Dude.
I got places I can go.
Don't bow.
And no, why don't you give me a shot at this? I think I can fix it.
He's gonna get Kim.
Yeah.
Maybe he could defend himself.
Oh, he's getting Kim.
Never mind. I was like
We're
thinking
like
about
all-
like he's gonna think of some loophole. This is what I was asking for earlier.
You've been selling drop phones
Oh shit.
on the street?
Kim, I just, if we could, I did a little recon, and the arresting officer, he has a DUI, 8 years ago, and he's been put on desk duty twice. I know he has anger issues. I can attest to it, right? So we get him smelling like a distillery, and we piss him off in court. Next thing
She's
you know,
not into that.
Case dismissed.
No.
I'm sure she'll defend him, but probably not the way he wants it to be.
No, I think she's gonna break up with him.
Viola, can you get me case material for Penal Code 3422, sections 22 to 27?
Yeah.
Battery on a PO.
She's gonna do it.
I will look into this. I'm not making any promises, but if it is as bad as you say it is, I don't know, maybe there is something I could do. Maybe. This is unequal justice. In this case, the officer was not injured at all. He was hit with a bag of sandwiches. How can you justify giving Babineau 18 months?
Close a year.
He has no history of violence.
There is no negotiation here, Kim. And our only witness is a scumbag, disbarred lawyer who peddles drop phones to criminals.
That might be enough to push her over and go with Jimmy's plan.
She doesn't like when people talk shit about him.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna go with Jimmy's plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no matter what, he's gonna have to do some time. You're gonna tell him to stay put.
Yeah, sure. You do your thing, I'll do mine.
Jimmy, come on, what does that mean?
Don't worry.
They're still not communicating. And she's helping him. Like, she didn't have to help him. Be careful with your driving.
She's gonna follow him.
Oh, okay. Like, last time she drove, you know. Interesting. I wonder what she's doing.
Yeah, I don't think it is what I thought was gonna happen.
Dang.
I have no idea what she's trying to do here.
Jimmy, whatever you're doing, don't. I have a better way.
Wow.
So
That was really interesting. I liked that episode.
yeah, this season's starting to pick up a little bit more and more, but man, that's ominous, I think. I think that I don't want her to compromise herself, you know? I don't want her to put herself in a position that she could lose what she's created and what she's built. And I'm nervous that because even though like their relationship is corroding, she still does care for him. Obviously, she'll defend him, and she obviously does not like when people talk shit about him. So I'm really nervous I'm excited because what I was hoping for was that Jimmy, I thought maybe his suspension was over and that he was going to hop in there, and that was going to be his first criminal client where he gets him off on like technicality or gets like, you mentioned about the cop having like a history of like drinking, like get him drunk and like show up to courtroom, which I'm not quite sure exactly how he was going to do that.
But he has a month left. So just like 1 month too soon, and just the bag of sandwiches is so funny.
I don't know. I can't even think of what she's thinking of right now.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
she was
know.
grabbing
She
like
might
so
have
much
read it.
supplies. She's like Sharpies, colors, like construction paper, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So I don't
That
honestly
makes
have
me
no
really
idea.
want to watch the next episode. To see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. We're seeing Saul. He's. I mean Saul.
Well, I mean, no, they called him Saul in this
Jimmy's
episode,
coming
so
into
it's
Saul.
converting.
Like you can see it happening slowly but surely, and it's just like every episode he's getting more and more Saul.
Yeah.
You know, Saul-esque. And it's sad to see him and Kim's relationship fizzling apart, but I feel like it was inevitably going to happen in some form or another. But it's still sad to see because they started off so good, you know, and just like,
It was kind of like electric, like the chemistry that they had. You just like,
they
I
just
don't know,
went
they
so
just
well
they
together.
just went together, and like now it's just like it's so cold
And awkward.
and like I mean, him even asking her this favor. Like, she was just like, first of all, like, he's been lying to her for, like, almost a year.
And it just, like... Oh.
And, like, just like, oh, yeah, I've been lying to you for a year. Can you help me fix the situation? Like, I feel like it's just, the relationship now is just so estranged that it's just awkward to have conversations with each other, I feel like, for them now. It's really weird. With Mike, obviously, we have that little setback that went on with, like, the lab. I don't think that Kai's done fucking shit up. Like, I feel like he's gonna fuck something up, and that I don't know necessarily what it might be. I just have a bad feeling. Mike, I don't know. He's just trying to get rid of him so bad, and like, you know, the other guy is like reassuring, oh, he's fine. He's just a boy, and you know, Mike's like, that's the problem. He's not a man, and like he's bound to make some sort of mistakes. And they were talking about that R&R. Like, I don't know. Obviously, they want some fresh air and to get out, not being just confined to like a hangar. It almost kind of looks like, but I just feel like something's, if they end up going down that route, something's bound to fuck up.
Yeah.
And something...
It's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, like he's gonna venture off, and then who knows what could happen after that. Obviously, Mike isn't one to take things lightly. No second measures. Or no half measures. No half measures is what he said. So if he screws up, I wouldn't put it past Mike to get rid of him. In all honesty, without any hesitation.
Especially Gustavo.
Yeah, well, I don't even think that he would even wait for Gustavo. I think he has Gustavo's best interest in mind.
Yeah.
But I am really excited to continue to watching it. Like this, it's really started to pick up now, and I was hoping that we weren't gonna have to wait a whole season for the 10 months to pass.
Yeah.
And now that we're so close to
I'm glad that
his suspension being over.
They did it well, and at first we kind of we weren't paying attention as much to the files.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they did say a month later so we could reiterate.
Well, we got a couple things she was getting her cast taken off, and then obviously Hector was sitting up. So you can kind of see the progression of time. Yeah.
So I liked how they did it in this episode. That they did it within the episode instead of having to wait for a whole
that Hector
season.
thing too. He's fine. He could stay like that type of thing. We know that he has that hate for him, so it's not surprising, but it's still surprising in itself to be he could have walked, he could have talked at some point.
He could have had his life back, but I mean,
he wanted to torture him.
We know
he
Gustavo,
talked about it.
Yeah.
You don't cross him. So I'm really excited to see the next episode and kind of see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
But alright guys, if you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can stay notified for all of our future videos. Alright guys, well we'll catch you next time.
Bye!